Oh, there we go. Hey YouTube, Kenny here, aka SilentFan85. So I want to kind of go into something a little bit in the video here that may seem a little bit weird on some level, but I'm going to explain it the best way I can. Okay. So basically, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, I am a big Batman nerd. People are against him because he has no superpowers, or he's this creepy guy in a bat suit, or because he's DC. But aside from that, I grew up on Batman. I am not the biggest Batman fanatic, but I am a big Batman fanatic. I love the character. I love how he turned his childhood tragedy into this undeniable force to be reckoned with when it comes to fighting crime, even among superheroes with actual superpowers, including the epitome, which is Superman. And what I took away a few qualities from the story growing up. Now, with that said, I want to put one note here in that both of my parents did have a lot to do with the man I became today. In both positive and negative ways. Nobody's perfect, but I love them both. However, another part of my childhood that really kind of contributed to who I was reading and characters in the stories that I read. Now, most of them had very minimal effect, but I did learn a small lesson from them. I took away morals from the story, which any person that really likes to read will do. But the biggest character that hit me the most was Bruce Wayne's character. And I say Bruce Wayne, not Batman, because Bruce Wayne was the guy to learn from in this example. So, basically, what I learned from him is that you cannot have a fulfilling relationship of any type unless they know who you truly are inside and out. Basically, if you look at the history of Batman and Bruce Wayne, is that up until he dons the cape and the mask and becomes Batman, he's very withdrawn. He has very little contact with the world, or really any fulfilling relationships, aside from Alfred. Or in other arcs, an uncle that he was raised on his ranch, but he's rarely ever mentioned. He, again, didn't really have anything. And then when he does don the mask, he falls in love with women. He, has sidekicks. But the women that he falls in love with, he never really truly has a relationship with, because he never lets them get past a point to where they discover who he truly is inside. This Cape Crusader and, this dark figure of crime fighting. Because it's his other part. It's his dark side. It's his anger being funneled into trying to fight crime. Obviously. I mean, that's the basis of the story. But when you analyze his history with relationships, the truly meaningful ones, Alfred, certain doctors, his sidekicks overall, those are his most meaningful relationships. In fact, having a partner, the first Robin, changed his life. After that, he found it a plus to have a partner by his side fighting crime, somebody he could rely on, and he had numerous others after that. In fact, it changed his fighting way. And he became more, for the most part, of a team player. Again, I say for the most part because he still had this domineering side to his sidekick, but his sidekicks always were, aloof or very determined to do what they want to do, and Bruce kind of helped curb that enthusiasm. But again, when you look at it, the most deep, meaningful relationships that he ever had was people that knew both sides of him and understood and accepted it. And these were people he could rely on. So I really took that away from the story, and without even realizing it, I've been putting that into practice for most of my life. Because I wanted to be this honest guy. I wanted to be out there in the open. What you see is what you get. And, in relationships, you cannot hide. You can't hide behind a mask. as it was, because masks are superficial and they're only there for show. Much like Batman's way of putting on a mask to strike fear into his enemies. Batman. It goes with the territory. And when you just think about relationships in that way, it corresponds. And I was driving home and it hit me. It just kind of had an epiphany. It's like I learned that from reading it. From reading about close to maybe 120 comics as a kid, watching movies, watching the animated movies, games, all kinds of stuff, looking at the history, looking at the arcs, and it's just crazy what you can take away from certain forms of media. So, again, I'll just say, if you really want to have a fulfilling relationship, be who you truly are, be open, be honest, and you'll be the best human being you can be. And that's my message. I know some people may agree with me. They say there are certain parts you really shouldn't show people. But the truth is, unless it's very, very disturbing, for example, the character Dexter, he kills people in a way kind of similar to Bruce Wayne, except a lot darker, obviously. In some sense, I mean, it's give and take with some situations. But if you're a serial killer, if you're out in the open about it, obviously you're going to get cut. But at the same time, if you keep it hidden and you're doing the right thing, not that I would, you know what, I would say I could justify if somebody was to come out of the open to be a Dexter. If they're out whacking people that's selling drugs on the streets and all that, I don't know, it's justified in a way, but then the humanity part comes in, so it's really hard to say. But anyway, getting off track here, just be who you are, be open, be honest in relationships, because if you're not, then it's not really a relationship. They're not really a friend or a wife or a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband. And to me, it's not worth it. So, see you later. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And for now, end of line.